Hey, so I've been in Vietnam for about 2 weeks now. I think this is maybe day 3 or 4 that it's not rained, so maybe don't come during typhoon season. And I just want to take a moment to talk about culture shock items since I've been here, Da Nang, while having a little bit of coffee. So one of the biggest things that's hit me, right? Like I've been in Africa since March. I got here. This is now November, and the lack of English is probably the biggest culture shock I've had in Vietnam. And I'm not saying that as any kind of insult, right? Like, this is their country, they speak their language. It is totally up to me to be able to continue with them. It's just that I grew up, English speaking. When I was in Puerto Rico, like, largely English speaking. Even when I went to Kenya and South Africa, right? Like, huge portions of the population English. And you can see the signs up everywhere are in English. It's the official language of Kenya. And then you get here, uh, everything's in Vietnamese with the occasional English kind of popped in there that kind of lures you in, makes you think you're going to hear something. Like I went to an American bar called Cheers, which you go to their website. It talks about how the guy was inspired by the Cheers sitcom that was on when I was growing up, and you wanted that place where everybody knew your name. It was recommended as a big expat location. Very little English spoken by the staff right on there. The most English I've heard from Yiwan Lopal has been the person running the register at the main road markets. That it's a little kind of trippy for me, but that's not to say it's impossible to get by in any meets. Like everyone is super nice. Everyone is willing to like hold on while you whip out your phone and pop up Google Translate and you hold a conversation now. It's not been a problem. One of the other things I've noticed is uh, when we went to Kenya, right? Like almost no one jogs or runs. I think the only time I ever saw a Kenyan jogging or running was when they were training as a professional athlete, right? Anyone else you saw like jogging or running was either Caucasian or Asian. So like getting here to Nang, sitting here by the beach, you see a lot of people jogging and running again. It is still Caucasians and Asians. Full time I've been here, like I said, about 2 weeks, I've seen exactly one black person. So far, he was not jogging anywhere. Uh, and then like the third most impactful thing is just the amount of smokers you see again. Coming from the U.S., living in D.C., living in Maine, you stop seeing people smoking in public, especially like on the sidewalks or something like that. You might have designated smoking areas here and there, but compared to the number of people you saw in general, like you just didn't see smokers. And then same Kenya, I didn't see too many, though I'm assured there were quite a few. And then here in Da Nang, you see some just every little bit. And then, yeah, the other kind of thing that takes some getting used to is just the amount of crust you have to put into to the drivers of all these little scooters and cars from across the state. Very rarely have I come across a corner that actually had like a pedestrian light. Almost everything is find an opening, go for it, and just hope there's enough room to you in the car that they can slow down in time before you get there. Which is this kind of like weird blend of what I experienced in Kenya and Cape Town. In Kenya, again, you just kind of like find an opening and you go for it. Things are a little more chaotic than here. Cape Town was this odd, like you would stop to let the car go by because there wasn't a lot of traffic, and they would just like come to a complete stop and wave you on. Uh, so this is like that blend of less traffic, more politeness, but also with the chaotic, just make it happen and go. So if you've been somewhere, what's the biggest culture shock you've experienced? Let me know.